Welcome to this very special abbreviated edition of the Real Deal podcast, episode 986. Bill Belichick on the Chapel Hill. Of course, this is your host, Ril Dil Quinn, as I discuss a surprising and shocking college football hire, six-time Super Bowl champion, and well, eight-time Super Bowl champion. You count the ones in his two Super Bowls as an assistant with the assistant coach with the Giants. Bill Belichick going back going back to school to the University of North Carolina, and we'll see what happens. Bill Belichick is one of the greatest coaches in the history of pro sports. Yet he has settled for an average ACC program. The University of North Carolina make it make sense. So 5 years, 50 million is one reason, but Belichick has made plenty of money. It's been reported he was making over 20 million a year as the head coach and president of the New England Patriots. The one thing Belichick seems to value even more than money is control. But in today's college football landscape, having total control does not necessarily translate to major success. The transfer portal and NIL money has transcended college football and basketball, which has forced many coaches to share some of that control with the players. No one will ever question Belichick's X's and O's as a head coach, but during his time with New England, he butted heads with Tom Brady over Brady's influence on fellow Patriot teammates using TB12 partner and trainer Alex Guerrero. This led to Belichick having many of Guerrero's privileges within the team stripped away. So what happens if a star player doesn't want to do it Bill's way? Can Belichick compromise to today's player in a way that keeps recruits and transfers wanting to play for him? Or will he join a list of recent championship coaches that include Jay Wright, Tony Bennett, and Nick Saban, who are not willing to fully embrace this new college sports terrain and that has officially turned amateurs into professionals? Um, Listen, I don't buy the idea that Belichick wants to be at the University of North Carolina. Like this was his dream. This was his bucket list on in terms of his coaching goals. I don't buy it. I think Belichick, if there was a job, if there was a team or a franchise that wanted Belichick and Belichick felt like and it was the right fit, then I think Belichick would be in the NFL. But I just don't think that team. I don't think that team exists right now. And Belichick saw the landscape for 2025 wasn't looking promising as far as some of the possible opening jobs. And he goes back to college. He'll have, like I said earlier, he will have complete control of the program, even to a point to where he's probably going to be able to name his successor. But again, that does not the way college football is right now. Again, having complete control is not the end all be all. So I'm not listen. Belichick we know what type of coach Belichick is. Belichick is arguably the greatest coach in NFL history. He's on that short list along with the likes of Tom of Vince Lombardi, George Halas, Paul Brown. He's right there. He's right there. So we understand that. But again, working in today's college football climate, the X's and O's part is just it's minuscule compared to all the other stuff that you have to deal with as a head coach with recruiting, developing relationships, um, building that, being able to connect with an 18 to 20 to 21-year old. This is a whole different world for Belichick, a world that he has never dealt with in his illustrious and soon to be Hall of Fame career. So we'll see what happens. I don't think it'll be a complete disaster, but I don't see you tell me that North Carolina is like 7-6 next year. I'm like, yeah. Or you tell me North Carolina is, a 500 team next year. I'm like, oh, makes sense. That is episode 986 of the Real Deal podcast. This special edition mini pod. We'll be back. We will be back. Excuse me, next week with a full episode of the Real Deal podcast, the final episode of 2024. Have a great rest of your evening. So long.